Hey everybody, I've been very busy. So it's time for an update. What we're looking at here are my brake cooling apparatus. All piped, ready to go. The car's a lot more together than when you saw it last. We were waiting on an engine. I brought my bumpers into the shop. We're going to start working on those because the engine has returned. I am waiting on parts right now to come in from California, I think. MMR, Modular Motorsports Racing, something like that. They have a lot of really neat, unique parts that are really good for these motor, mostly cooling things. So I'll show you those whenever they come in. They should be in Monday. And what's also coming with those parts are the bolts and like factory fasteners for my front and rear covers. My valve covers, they are complete. I forgot to pick them up the last couple days, so they're done. They call it a mini texture black. Pretty much looks like if you've ever seen like a factory Lambo color valve covers. It's that black texture. Pretty normal hot rod stuff. So all the parts are inbound to get this thing back together. I got my front timing chain cover. I got a new one. Not a new one, but a new to me one from my buddy Donnie up in Conroe. Cleaned it up, painted it. Did a little bit of research, found out that this is actually a Ford Racing clutch, so that ought to be perfect for me. And so whenever I get all my junk in, I'll be able to put all the covers on this thing, and then we can put the trans on. And with all of our factory fasteners, I have new flywheel bolts, new flywheel to crankshaft bolts, and I have new like a kit for the bolts for the clutch to the flywheel. I even bought an alignment tool to make sure that that's good to go. I bought new bolts for the trans to the motor, new bolts for the rear main seal cover, new rear main seal obviously, all new hardware for the front timing chain cover. Pretty sure I have all the bolts for my valve covers, but I bought a gasket kit with all this stuff, all the little grommets and whatnot for the outside. So, we should have everything we need to get the trans on the motor and then set the motor on the K-member. And then we will lower the car onto said K-member with motor installed, bolt it up, raise car in air, and I'm sure it'll be all that simple. It'll be super simple, just like that. Nothing will go wrong, and there won't be any kind of problems because this is hot rodding, and nothing ever goes wrong when you're hot rodding. Everything just bolts right up, and so that's that. What else? Let's see. Lots of critters scampering around outside. Yeah, so the garage is pretty cluttered at the moment. But once we get this thing up in there, we'll be rocking and rolling. Oh, I cannot wait for that to happen. So, little sidetrack. This is a project I've been working on for my son. I just refinished this Dean ML body. It's their cheapie model. They call it a X. It's like the MLX. And so he really liked it. He thought it was cool. I got it from a buddy, but it was brown, and he likes orange a lot. So we decided to go with orange, and I think he's going to be pretty happy with how it turned out. This is actually an accident. I thinned some enamel too much, and so it was real runny, but it actually turned out being really cool once it started running, and I decided just to clear over it. I think it looks dope. Yeah, so that's the other thing I've been up to. What else? Oh yeah, so tomorrow, my buddy Rick, we're finally going to shim this diff and then I can replace the clutch packs, get it up in the car, the other side, up in that IRS, so that whenever we get our motor in, we can actually install that drive shaft and work on the exhaust and do all the stuff that we need to do. So lots of irons in the fire, but thankfully it looks like everything is coming together. The engine aspect of these things, just so you guys know, I didn't want a Cobra because I knew it would cost a little more to do the motor thing, and I really didn't want to deal with the whole rebuilding an engine. And the reason for that is I knew it would be costly. So I've ended up having to shell out about, well, my wife might watch this video. So let's say several $1,000s. And I'm still on track for budget. My budget for this entire build is about 13, 14, something like that. I was doing really good. I was under budget by a couple thousand with all the stuff I was able to sell and whatnot, doing things on my own. But whenever it came to the motor, the heads needed to be redone, needed to be re-sleeved, one cylinder, and blah blah blah. Plus it's a Cobra motor, so stuff kind of costs a little bit more. It's not that it costs more like to do the work, it's that tracking everything down, it was out of the car, so I had to buy a crap ton of bolts. I had to buy manifolds, so I went ahead and bought headers. Just all kinds of little stuff like that. It's really added up. But anyways, we're at the halfway point for the build. Once we get that drivetrain back in the car, we will then be able to start lining up body panels. But first we have to do the brakes. So we'll get the drivetrain in. Then once we actually make sure once we get it running, we got to do the brakes. Then I may at that point take it for an alignment. No, I won't. Have to do body work. Okay, so drivetrain goes in, then you do the brakes. I'm doing an AC delete for now. I bought a pulley for it. So we're just going to do that for now. Then we're going to do the body, because in order to make sure we don't have to redo things, we're going to do the body right after we get the drivetrain in the car, so that we can make sure our tires fit, because I got 275s up front and 315s in the rear. These tires, which I am not using, but they're already the size of the most readily available tires on the market for these cars and stuff. Plus they fit the wheels, and I'm going to be reusing these wheels after I get them refinished, of course. I'm surprised there. So I'm going to make them fit. That's the plan anyways. Make 275s fit in the front, 315s fit in the rear. And once all that stuff is good to go, my gaps are perfect, then I'll blow it apart and we will cut in some fenders and doors and do all of our body stuff. Then we'll put it back together. Then we'll take it for an alignment, and hopefully nobody gives me really bad news about the job I did on lining up this Maximum Motorsports key number, because that was my first time doing it, and I'm really hoping it all worked out. Plus that whole IRS conversion. I'm really just assuming that everything just bolted up and the alignment's going to be okay. So say a prayer and cross your fingers, boys and girls. Yeah, that's really about it right now. So, yeah. Nothing else to do. That's all I have to say about that. All right, everybody. Happy New Year. Have a great day. Take care of one another. And don't be afraid to try new things. This has been pretty cool. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.